You are single. Do you feel like people weaponize that a lot?
They weaponize women.
Yes, women.
They don't weaponize men.
Yeah.
Like I said, if I was a man, men would encourage me not to get married. And there's married people who I would not take advice from. But I think that most women want the wedding day, but do they really want the wife job description? Now, the wife job description, I believe in it so much, that's why I won't do it. I was engaged.
Is there somebody you're dating right now?
Yes, Paul, I am dating.
Dating? Is it more than one?
I am dating. I don't have sex when I date, though.
How do I buy a car without test driving? You don't have sex unless you're in a relationship.
Yes.
You haven't been in a relationship for a year, you said.
Yes, a year. That's not hard. Paul, I wrote a book called Abstinence is...
So if I'm just pushing my cart in the grocery store and some little rat come up to me, that's what I am? Come on, don't say that.
I will say,
little thirsty chick, that's who I am?
Yeah, because let me tell you why. Look at your watch. Look at your necklace. Okay. Your presentation just sitting at the bar is a girl who's like, oh, I can cash out.
So like my parents are married still, you know?
Yeah.
And all my sisters are married, 5 sisters.
Yeah. You don't have an issue. It's a good thing. You're beautiful. So we'll start there. You're talented, you're smart, you're educated. So a man just has to be ready for you because he's gonna have to rise to the occasion, which he should.
Yeah, thank you.
Which you should.
So you're really good at what you do, obviously. So if anyone's single, y'all better hit Kendra up, baby.
Wait, hold on. Kendra, all right, what's your relationship status?
So I'm single. I was in a relationship. I've been single for about a year. Okay. And I love that I'm single right now because I think that women have to realize that, listen, you can be happy single. Like there's some men who are so happy single. This is why they don't want to get in relationships. And I think that when you focus on just always your relationship status determines your happiness, you're not going to be happy. So
first thing she just did was compare herself to a guy. There's a lot of guys that are happy single. I think women should be single as well. Women actually don't want to be single. And we just live in a highly advanced, civilized first world nation to where women have the privilege to be single. But we can still see that it does not work out and it does not play out in the system of the United States. You got a lot of chicks out here struggling alone.
You know, what people got to understand, like I just said, I just moved to LA 2 years ago. So I'm a girl that for my career, every 4 years, I pretty much moved. I think I'm home now. I think.
She loves LA.
Yeah,
I love LA,
here.
but Dubai about it. Dubai look like it's my kind of place.
I just saw Lindsay Lohan said she lives in Dubai.
I wonder what she's doing over there.
She said, well, she's married and she said they can't take pictures of you. Like when you're in the restaurant, it's illegal to take pictures of people. You have to ask them for permission.
I've been over there.
That's what she was just saying.
I'm on Instagram. I'm taking photos. I was there.
Okay, so wait a minute. You are single. Do you feel like people weaponize that a lot? Because for me, I feel like, well, why are you single then? Or why are you da-da-da? And it's like, maybe because I like my peace and I understand who I am as a woman and I prefer my solitude. And if you're going to take some of that space, you must be a hell of a person. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I thought when I was single, you know?
Right.
So do you feel like people are like, why are you single if you got this show and da-da-da-da-da?
They weaponize women.
Yes, women.
They don't weaponize men. Yeah. Like I said, if I was a man, men would encourage me not to get married. They would say, you work this hard, you focus on your career, you invested, I've invested my own money into my company. They'll be like, why would you let a woman benefit off of all your hard work? What happened?
That's not true because even we already know in business, guys who become really successful, they get the advice from other guys that it looks good to be in a marriage. It doesn't look good to be a bachelor when you're up top. Why you see all these CEO guys or guys that have status or whatnot, majority of them are married. And then we have the other catch side to a lot of younger guys. You have guys out there that will get married young, high school sweetheart, possibly college. Now, of course, in today's age, it's becoming rare because a lot of the chicks out here don't want to be married, but you had guys doing that all the time. We usually tell guys to just, whatever situation they get in, they still have to be the man of the situation and they have to prepare for anything that's coming in the future. So a guy still has to make sure his money's on point and make sure his family is protected.
We're in a time where I do believe that there's some men that only respect a woman by the man she's next to, right? So, and there is,
that's a part.
No, that's what it's about. So it's like, who's the man I got to answer to if I mess with you? And if there's not a man standing there, well, why not? And there's also some type of, I don't want to say control, but there are some men who like to know, like, okay, I have my wife. There's a control aspect. So they're also like, well, why aren't you married? Like, could you not follow instructions? Were you not, like, did you not forgive too easy? I would say this, there's women who are married to men in jail. And if you feel like she is a better, if you feel like because she's married and has a husband, you can take her advice. Like, I'm not the kind of person that's like, you have to live by what I live by. I'm telling you what I know, right? At the end of the day. And there's married people who I would not take advice from. And we have to stop this illusion that marriage is this sun and roses and everybody's happy. You know, I have a therapist who literally told me that a lot of her clientels are wives who are trying to make it through their marriage because they're not happy.
Woo! Hold on. First of all, if you're not married and you're giving a lot of marriage advice, it's going to be sketchy because you didn't stay in the marriage that you were supposed to be in. She's explained plenty of times where she denied her guy back in the day. Successful dude. I think he was being an engineer. They were like college. She was a radio host. You chose it to just move up the ladder of stardom and success. So when you talking about really trying to figure out a marriage and fighting through it and surviving through it, your advice is going to be limited, Kendra. It don't matter. It don't matter if you can analyze every situation, if you can doggone have like a whole bunch of experimental people that have been in it. Until you've been in it and you've been in it for years, your advice is going to not be as valid.
Not saying this is every wife, okay? But I think that most women want the wedding day, they want the ring, they want the bragging rights, they want the Instagram post. But do they really want the wife job description? Now, the wife job description, I believe in it so much, that's why I won't do it. I was engaged, and that's what, before all this.
Hold on, she said she believes in the wife job description so much that she wouldn't do it. How does that even make sense? Let's keep listening. Hold on. Matter of fact, I want to rewind that again because that shit made no sense whatsoever. Hold up.
The ring, they want the bragging rights, they want the Instagram post. But do they really want the wife job description? Now, the wife job description, I believe in it so much, that's why I won't do it. I was engaged. And that's what, before all this, very early in my career, I was engaged. I was in my 20s for my college sweetheart. And the one thing we decided is we would never get divorced. And I really think people should make that decision before you get married because it's like, listen, if we do this, it's me and you till we see Jesus. And there wasn't an infidelity. I realized we had different life plans. And most women usually just kind of follow the man. Nothing wrong with that, right? And at that time, it would have made sense. He was an electrical engineer. I'm a radio host making $7 an hour. I'm going to probably be fired in I would you get fired all the time in radio. I have no job security. So girl, you got this man, tall, dark, handsome, marry him, have babies, and run off to the sunset. And I couldn't make that bet because I had so much inside of me. I had to take a risk on becoming who Kendra could become. And that's 20 years ago. And as I say, I always tell my age because I want people to know my life is a journey. I'm 46 years old. If I would know that you make that deal and you decide to go for your career, and at 46, you still wouldn't be married, you still wouldn't have kids, would you make that same bet? Absolutely.
You would.
Because I had to choose myself. Yeah. Like, I don't want to be married and just say I'm married. If I'm married, it's because this is what God's purpose is for me. And I'm riding out with you to the sunset. And I know.
Okay, she said God's purpose for her. First of all, God does not care that you created a dating game, that you have a dating show, any of that stupid shit on the level of a spiritual level. God doesn't care about that, just being honest. Secondly, now it's questionable to say that, Kendra, you possibly don't have any love in your heart. And I think you probably are going to be the example to show men what the nature of a woman like this could possibly be. You had a great guy in front of you who you could have made a family with or whatnot. And you probably still became the same Kendra G with your guy, because if he really loved you and he cared about you, he would have loved to see you still, pursue this or whatnot. But no, you chose, I want to just stay single. I want to play the field. I don't care that this guy loves me a lot, the whole nine. You're willing to tear him down in the process to build yourself back up. So I think what this does is really show guys that really none of y'all can really hold it down or really be for us. Just being honest. Or the ones who you might find one. This is one of them things where guys are gonna have to learn that, hey, you might love a chick a lot, but you still got to stay focused on yourself because this woman still could possibly leave, focus on herself, she really might not never be in it in the world we live in today. We just so advanced. I think a lot of chicks want to live the life of a guy now. So what she explaining is pretty accurate.
You're gonna mess up, but I'm here. I'm Coretta Scott King in it.
Yeah.
And if I can't Coretta Scott King it, then I'm not gonna do it. You just should.
Yeah.
I love that.
Is there
Coretta
somebody
Scott
dating
King.
right now?
Yes, Paul. I am dating.
Dating? Is it more than one?
I am dating. I don't have sex when I date though. So let me tell you about dating. This is why I have a dating app, and I encourage every woman to date. I think what happens is women don't know how to date. Like men really kind of have, are you cool? Can I sit with you and have a conversation, watch a game and eat some burgers? All right, let's kick it. Women, their prerequisites for dating, and this is why women are having so many challenges, because they don't know how to date. Girlfriend, if a guy wants to take you out for pizza, go out for pizza. Learn them. Dating is data. You're collecting data because you might think you want something on paper, but when you get it, because I've had a lot of things that I wanted on paper, and then I got it, and I was like, oh, I'm not about this life. Like you said, men like Paul come with a lot. I'm here to tell you, I'm not about that life.
Yeah.
I'm not about that life. So now I'm dating. Marriage is not important to me. But I'm dating, I think.
My thing is,
Okay, so you just dating, so you just having a lot of casual sex. That's what it sounds like. Marriage is not important. I mean, she's 46. She's older. I don't think, Kendra, you understand. Once you get over 40 to 50 category, you really just going to be bust down category for a large majority of guys. Guys in their 30s, guys in their 50s. Because guess what? The guy that's older, and for her status, who probably have a certain amount of money, why they would get the better model of you, which would probably be in the 30s somewhere. They would probably get a woman in their 30s, probably like an Azar, probably understand, life a little bit better, probably actually want a family, opposed to you just want business, you want accolades, you want more money and success. It's only gonna be so much enjoyment I'm gonna get out of that if you talking about a real guy who want a family or want somebody who's more, simple-minded. She just might be a little too advanced for the majority of guys, but I don't think she realized them guys in that category, they just playing the game just to get a little bit of yams and disappear.
How do I buy a car without test driving it?
That's fair for you. So I'm not saying
because you said you don't have sex while dating.
No, but I'm not having sex without a relationship. I'm not saying marriage.
Relationship.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if we want to have intimacy, so it's just me and you. We exclusive, right?
Me too.
How long before you know? How many dates?
How many dates?
Like how many dates can a dude get off before you like, all right, this ain't gonna happen, or it's maybe something?
I think that here's the deal, and I'm gonna get so technical, and y'all gonna get mad.
Don't run around
Listen, we can't forget like STDs exist, y'all. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you should be. It's very fine to be like, yo, I need to really get to know you more.
Yes.
And yes, like I should have a physical attraction to you, but again, I shouldn't want to just jump in the bed with you because I want to make sure I'm safe too.
Yeah.
If I don't want to get pregnant just to get pregnant if we're not going to do something long term. And let me tell you why I have that rule. So I was engaged, and when I broke up with my ex-fiance, I ended up many, many, many years ago dating an athlete, and we wasn't in a relationship. And I learned that he was dating somebody else, and I went off. And he said to me, "But you're not my girlfriend."
Ooh.
And I was like, but you know what? I had to woman up.
Yeah,
and I was like,
right.
I'll never make that mistake again. Because here's the deal. When you have sex with a guy and that's not your man, you can't check him.
Yep.
Because you agreed to participate in a sexual activity without that title if it's not important to you. Now, there's some women who are like, men are emotionless. I wanted to have a good time and felt good with me. I don't care if I never talk to him again. If that's you, listen, there's no judgment. But if you know you are a girl that's gonna catch feelings, if it gets physical, you need to get that title first. And you're getting that title so when he acts up or acts out of line, you have the right to say something. You have no right to check a man if you're in a situationship and he has not agreed to be exclusive to you. And it's very much, listen, there are some women that have
Hold on, before she spills some more out. Just because you with a guy, it gives you the right to check in. Why don't you just make sure you with a good guy that has good character to where he's making sure you straight to where he wants to make sure y'all have a plan. But just to say that I'll make sure that we girlfriend and boyfriend first before I, bust it down. That dude could be playing the game. That's what I'm saying. It goes so deep to where you don't understand the character of the guy, the type of guy that you actually want to attract. See, Kendra G right now, her biggest asset is the fact that she can show money. But you could tell money still does not change her. She's still gonna be a woman. She's still gonna do the same thing that a lot of black women do. You got a lot of makeup on, you got the weave, the whole nine. Money does not fix you or make you better a lot of the time. So that's why you need to just focus on getting some good character, getting around people that got good moral character, whatnot, and who actually want to build and grow and want to see the best for you.
Until I get married rule. Yeah. But let me tell you something, ladies. It's very much okay to say, I only have sex if we're in an exclusive relationship. Yeah. Well, like, that's a fair rule.
Yeah, that's fair.
He's like, yeah, that's fair.
No, but I'm just saying, this is something that's recent. I mean, like, as we get older, we start saying, like, you know, that's what it is. You'll start laying down the law a little bit more. But, like, how long has it been like this? Like, where you're saying...
No, I learned that lesson. Like, I learned that lesson. I'm about 16 years ago, I learned that lesson, right? Yeah, okay. So I think that all the things that what normally gets a woman to just say, okay, I'm gonna break the rules. And this is what I've learned too, and this is another thing that women mess up with. They have certain rules for certain guys, right? First of all, it depends on what you want, right? Yeah. So if you want a weekend fling, if you wanna just have fun, then girlfriend, do you. But you got to learn your pool of men, because there's men that will have a situationship with you, and then there's men that may make you his girlfriend, and there's a man that will marry you. Yeah. If you know you want to be a wife, you got to at least close the deal on girlfriend. If you can't get a guy to commit to make you his girlfriend, it's gonna be hard for you to get to wife. And what happens is sometimes the situationship guy he's a sensational guy. He looks good because you're breaking the rules for him. So he got the money, he looks good. There's something about him that you're gonna break your rule that you would have for an ugly man. And I've said this a couple of times, but you gotta treat every guy like he's ugly. Like, don't bend the rules. Like, keep your standard if you wanna get married, right? All the women that have gotten married, no, their standard was their standard, and they married the best option of the man that was willing to marry them. It's two different options. There's a man that will marry you, and then there's a situationship guy. And the situationship guy can be so dangerous because he can make it almost hard for you to appreciate the guy that would marry you, because the guy that may marry you, maybe the sex isn't as good, maybe he don't have as much money. Maybe the life he can provide might not be as exciting, but you're constantly comparing this situationship guy, who never made you his girlfriend, who's not going to spend a holiday with you. So now your appetite, because you tasted, now like you had like this amazing, seasoned chicken, and now you got this other chicken. It's okay, but it's something you can rely on. It don't get your taste buds. So don't bite the apple, Eve.
Okay. Let's break that down. See, Kendra, her advice is very damaging. Let me tell you why. She would be considered more advanced when it comes down to learning the information, and since she has the money, she can move and navigate the way how she wants to. But that advice is not good for a large majority of women to say that, okay, you're gonna have the fun situations, you're gonna have the possible relationship, you're gonna have the marriage situations. The reason why it's good to give a good, simple, general advice like how we give to guys or whatnot. Guys, stay on your purpose, passion, grind. Make sure you have your boundaries, the whole nine. When she says that, and we tell guys, if they get into some of these promiscuous situations, you ain't gonna be able to build, grind, and work on yourself. You're gonna always be losing. But for her to try and dissect the way how females should operate, if a woman gets into some of these situations, the trauma that she's going to face and experience, she's not gonna be able to come back from. It's gonna be hard for her to be able to be the one night stand girl to now transition into the wife girl or the relationship type girl. It does not hit like that for them all the time. By the time they go through all that, the miles have getting ran up and then they become damaged goods, just being honest.
You said
yes.
You don't have sex unless you're in a relationship.
Yes.
You haven't been in a relationship for a year, you said.
Yes, a year.
Oh shit.
That's not hard. Paul, I wrote a book called Abstinence is Cool, where I went years without having sex.
I've done that. I did a whole year.
It's not hard for a woman not to have sex. Yeah,
and I know it's different for women. Yeah.
Like you said, it's different.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't see how Kendra got all that money and got them thick ass ankles. Just being honest. I'm not trying to be funny. That's why I say when you see the money does not change you. There's still a regular woman. She probably got a lot of fluid retention around the ankles, or it's just maybe genetic. I don't know. But at the same time, the money doesn't amplify you a lot of the times. Your genetic makeup. The way how you think, this is the way how you think. The money just gonna bring out other characteristics that can make it more difficult to possibly get in a situation, because now you think you're better than what you are because of the money. And the fact that the whole women not being able to sleep, or women can go a long period of time without having sex, but at the same time, I don't believe her.
Women,
it's different for women.
Yeah, I think I get women on my show that be like, I have had sex in 5 or 10 years. Now that could be a dangerous place. You don't want to go so long, because at some point in time you don't want to let yourself go, right? Like, but it is not. I know we're in this time where it seems like everybody is busted it open, overly sexual, but there's so many women who are like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, and you're not worried about things like today. I always say that there's no casual sex, in my opinion. Okay. Nothing about sex is casual, because as a woman, you risk so many things having sex. As a man, like STDs, people don't talk about STDs. I'm like, damn, people get all type of stuff. So I feel like casual sex isn't a thing for me. So I can go like a cool minute if I have to. Yeah. As a woman, I might be probably real different for a man, you know?
So, okay, how long can you go without sex, Paul?
Hold on, before Paul answer that, I think that women are okay with not having the sex, but I feel like men need to be okay with not giving the attention, any efforts into, like, you know, making their life better, sending money for no reason, just all the emotional texts, things like that. I feel like if we pull back from that, because women are already okay with withholding sex, but if you withhold attention, if you withhold resources, that's where the struggle gonna come out. But of course, women, they can get their own job, they can do that, they can supplement that way. I'd rather them go that route in the world we live in equality, because times have changed.
I mean, I'm older, so it ain't really like, something that I gotta just chase.
So what's the answer?
How long?
I love Kendra.
I mean, I don't know, a month or two maybe.
So 60 days?
Okay. I mean, I could probably go longer than that. You understand, like, I was so locked in as a sports player, right, that I was like, so just like, I could just block that out. I could just be, I'm gonna work out, do this. I was on a program. Yeah. So I was just like, you know what, I ain't messing with no girls for like 3 months. I'm gonna lock in, go to the gym, get my rest, go back to the gym. You know what I'm saying? I'm used to programming my mind like that. And that's why I became one of the best.
So how come you can't feel a woman could do the same?
Oh no, y'all can.
I just feel like, damn, women are thirsty. Like,
those are the women
like, women is thirsty. Maybe it's just because of my environment.
Yes, it's your environment.
But like, what's my environment? It's just like everybody else's environment. What? I'm going to the restaurant. I'm going to the grocery store. It's not even my environment. It's what probably I'm attracted.
Yes.
I'm gonna just say this, based off of my experience, I could be completely wrong on this, but as a guy, I know guys like to bust nuts. And whether they're doing it with a woman or by themselves, the guy's still gonna probably masturbate multiple times a day. Don't get me wrong, I know you got some freaky ass women out there that be doing the same, but I feel like it's gonna be in a guy's nature first to be very freaky or whatnot, opposed to a woman who out there playing with herself or just busting it down constantly. Now, I will say this, in the day and age we live in, you do have women to where they're more promiscuous, to where they would like to mess with different guys. But when it comes down to just like all the time sex, I still feel like it's gonna be guys possibly more. But I feel like it's great if a guy does have discipline from busting nuts, because the more nuts you bust early as a guy, I feel like it slows you down later on in life. You still want to have some discipline and control over how many nuts you bust, because that's still a life force energy. You end up using a lot of zinc and other minerals out of your body. You end up depleting yourself, which that's something I want to speak on later on, about what minerals to take also to rebuild back up your zinc levels and just your energy levels from constantly having sex, because you will be depleted and you start getting drained. You start seeing all types of side effects from too much of that.
And it's who you are. Your environment is not the same as Joe. When Joe goes to the grocery store, women are not thirsty trying to be on him. He's going to the store and he probably don't see not one woman approach him, look at him, or want him. It's a whole different, you're Paul Pierce, you're a celebrity, and they know that. Women automatically want you because of that. Yeah, no matter what. They know you have money, they know that you could be ugly. As long as you're a famous, rich man, and you don't even have to be famous, you could just be rich, you got women on you, if they know that. So that's different. For you, you see thirsty women. A lot of men don't have that experience at all. Like, they don't
95% of men, and I'm being generous, don't have that experience. It's
like, that's not.
I mean, you're like, your world is your real world, so there's no apologies for it. But the people in your world, they don't have an average life. Most men have to work to get a woman.
Yeah. And they have to be nervous to come. But what I will say about men in that, women have to understand too, like, yes, a man, like if you're with a man like that, he may get a lot of women on them, but what type of women are they? Because that woman right there is just wants you because of who you are and what you have.
Don't matter.
This woman right here might really want you because they love you. Like there's a difference between quality, like options these days. I feel like men feel like they have a plethora of options because of Instagram, because of this. But in reality, where is the quality at?
But can I say something to that? And you're right.
Yeah.
So what I've learned.
Before she say something, first of all, if you get an influx of options, it's still a great thing. Granted, some can have ill intentions, but even the woman that's a good woman, she's gonna have her issues as well. It's always gonna be a trade-off. You never gonna get a perfect woman, no matter what level she at. If she at the down bottom, she's gonna have issues. The key is what relationship we're gonna be in, where we got the most control, the most leverage, where the ball is in our court more than in her court. But it's still gonna be some give and take with it. It don't matter what level she at, man. Whether she clouded or not.
Is law of attraction. If I was to die tomorrow, I would tell everybody, learn law of attraction. Everybody in your life is who you reflect. So if there is a woman who is just thirsty, that's what you desire, you know? Because the thirsty, like that's why I said going back to earlier, like women have to understand, like you might have a standard and he might say, I don't want to work that hard. Like, okay, like I respect you, but at the same time, I want the girl who going to sleep with me and not going to care. Like sometimes when people have money, it's easier for them to use their money to get their peace. Like if she just want money and I don't got to answer to her and I don't got to call in and check in, I could do that. Now she wants me for real. I have to rise to the occasion. She wants me to be honest. She wants me to never sleep with nobody else. He has to be ready for that, right? So it's like a lot of times we judge. That's why I don't really like to judge anybody I did it in the past, because whoever I did it in the past, that's who I was at that.
During
we was
that
on the
time.
same level. I have to receive that, right? So whenever you have something in your life that you don't like, don't judge the person. Ask yourself, what's in me that's attracting this person, and let me change that about me because I want to attract something different.
I literally said that to him on one of our shows. That's really the truth. You are what you attract. You're on a certain vibrational frequency.
So if I'm just pushing my cart in the grocery store and some little rat come up to me, that's what I am?
Right.
Come on, dog. Come on, I'm in the grocery store.
No.
Yes.
Hey, come on, don't say that.
I'll say
I'm
this.
just chilling at the nice bar and I'm chilling in some little busted, little thirsty chick. That's who I am.
Because let me tell you why. Look at your watch. Look at your necklace. Okay. Your presentation is just sitting at the bar is a girl who's like, oh, I can cash out, and this is my.
And look at you. You look like you bougie. A dude might not even want to deal with you or whatnot, or he might treat you a certain way just because you look like that.
Opportunity, like what social media did, it's girls. It's fine girls.
I love it.
No, for real, I'm gonna give it to you real because there's fine girls. Because now social media got the access, right?
Yeah.
So let's say there's this fine girl in Alabama, right?
Yeah.
Not in California. And then she sees a baller with a wife. And she's like, I look better than his wife.
Ooh.
Oh, I just got to get around the right people. So now, and then also back to why you said everybody's single. Nobody's grandma no more. Listen, I got on wig, makeup, hair. My body's real, and I take pride in that, okay? But people, you're getting body surgery.
Yeah.
You know, there's Ozempic. You could buy an ass. You could take away a waist. You know, all these people. So the average woman, she's too good for her partner because she's no longer average. So now she's like, wait a minute, I look this fine. I deserve to have this on my arm. And the guy who would be her equal, he's not good enough because she's now a whole new woman, right?
Yeah.
So that's another reason why, like, your partner, you are now no longer matched with, right?
Yeah.
So now this is where the men of the pause win. Their options are so wide. Yeah. Like, it's incredible. Like, I had an event in Houston, and it starts with attraction for women too. And it's always gonna be more women, so it is what it is. But let's say we got 60% women, 40% men. But out of the 40% men, and I'm being generous if I say 2 have all the attributes all of the 60% women win.
Yeah.
Like, they all want it. And it starts with, because he looked good, he's fresh, he's dressed well. And then I'll do an interview and it's like, okay, he got 2 baby mamas, 3 kids, you know, all this other thing. And another guy who wasn't as flashy probably has no kids yet, right? You know, but he can't afford to look as rich. So no, if you anywhere you go, a woman is like, Ding, like you're flashing lights.
Yeah.
I get my rent paid. I get, there's women like, I cry over the broke guy. I cry over a rich guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I cry.
I think I'm gonna leave it like that. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna leave it right there because I can't hear Kendra G talk no more. I'm gonna be honest, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but every time I hear her talk, I just want to throw like a Tic Tac in her mouth or something like that. It just sounds like her breath might smell possibly. I don't know. Maybe it's the back of the throat. I hear it every time she speaks. My apologies if you hear this, but I gotta get my thoughts out. I have to literally say exactly what's on my mind. When it comes down to dating or whatnot, I'm actually shocked. I'm actually mad Paul ain't giving a little more pushback. Like I was hoping that he would have gave some more pushback onto some of the things Kendra G was saying, man, because you still a date. I know you probably don't want to rattle the feathers up too much, but that's for the internet, I guess. We'll do that. Because like I said, when it comes down to certain advice, we still got to live in a realm of generalities, man. When we start trying to get over advanced with this dating shit, for the guy side, we have to be very calculated because we ain't got too many legs to stand on. Just being honest, we have to still be the top tier guy we can be for our own lives, not even just for attracting the right woman in our life, because that's gonna be that's a whole nother conversation. But when it comes down to just making sure we make the best decisions for us to be able to navigate in a world that's constantly changing, we have to be very consistent. But when it comes down to this advice for women or whatnot on, these dating coaches that's just offering off these still be a boss babe lifestyle, still have fun lifestyle while trying to navigate in relationship and marriage, but that's very difficult. Very difficult because now y'all got to work just as hard as a guy. See, Kendra lucky because she became rich from this, her whole scene, her come up. That's not gonna work for a large majority of women, just being honest, man. I know we probably think it's a lot of women out here boss babes making a whole bunch of money, but that's not the reality. Because let's say even if you are making the exact same thing as the average guy, which we know women is a little bit less, but let's say you are making the exact same as the average guy. Let's just do between 40 and 60. You can't do it alone still. If you're making between 40 and 60 a year, you still cannot do it alone. Shit, I'm gonna be honest. Even upwards of 100, depending on where you live at and your mentality, it's all gonna be about this up here on how are you with your money, how if you spend it too much, that's what's gonna matter. But if you just be giving all this frivolous advice to women about, dating and being single, and then even for herself, the way how she want to move, but still giving advice to married people, it's gonna be problematic, I would say. Which is why a lot of people always call Kendra G out, just being honest. I'm not gonna sit around here and be a hypocrite. Some things she said, yes, it does make sense. You know what I'm saying? The things that I probably was quiet on or I might have said I agree with, yes, some things make sense. But overall, when it comes down to being a female dating coach, it's gonna be problematic because they move off their feelings too much, opposed to guys moving off the rails. I think she even mentioned about God and spirituality or whatnot on God, wanting to see her play it out and be the person she was supposed to be. God don't delve in the matters of man on that level. Yeah, I think about this is created systems. These jobs and all this shit we do, this is created shit by us. The creator don't play on that level to where it's like, man, you know what? I really want you to be the best manager or production of media possible. Like, bro, it doesn't care. As long as this system is flowing, the grass is growing, the dirt is being recycled, the oil is constantly pumping throughout the ground of this plane we live on. That's where the realm of the creator lies in. But when it comes down to all this frivolous shit, that's on us. But we'll always try and take it, absolve it like it's something higher than what it is, like it's a higher purpose behind the scenes, making it move and shake. No, we got to be a lot more realistic as people. Man, make sure we stay on our purpose and our passion, man. And we just got to make sure we stand on business. I had recently death in the family, and I haven't really had a chance to really grieve or whatnot. I'm still dealing with this currently as we speak, and I have to handle majority of the funeral. I have to handle almost everything. She was my aunt, but she was like a mother also at the same time because my mom passed when I was younger. So I was in between a few households when I was younger or whatnot, and just make sure that we check up on people around us. And make sure we try and navigate the family that y'all want to have. Make sure we stay in tune with the people and just ask questions and just stay on top of things. And just, like I say, stay focused on what you need to do and handle everything. I know I still have an obligation to do what I'm doing here, work, family, and we just gotta us as men, we just gotta deal with it, man. But I'm gonna make sure I have their channel link in the description. Y'all can watch this in its entirety. I hope you're having a great day, whatever time of day it is. Just make sure y'all enjoy the day. It's JayBReacts, y'all. Until next time, peace.